G'day Rockaholics, this is Emergency Rule and you're listening to CGCM Rock Radio. Melody! What rock radio should be.
Hey gang, how you doing? It's Bob Bannister here. Welcome to another edition of Rock Talk. I got a question for you. What do you think it would sound like if Fred Turner quit BTO back in the day and decided to join up with Black Sabbath after Ozzy left? Now, most of you are saying, okay, that's just a really, really weird combination. But I can tell you, it works when you hear this band that I'm going to bring you. They're another band from Australia, the band that ranked number 10 on my 2024 year-end review, my top 10 albums of 2024. These guys are fantastic. So let's step into Rock Talk and check it out. Emergency Rule. And here we go. It's another edition of Rock Talk on CGCM Rock Radio. And you know me, I'm always up to talk to a brand new band that I've recently discovered. These guys I discovered in mid to late 2024, and they made my top 10 albums list of 2024. These guys are superstars, otherwise known as Emergency Rule. Welcome to Rock Talk, guys.
G'day.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, man.
Now, I love the way that you guys described yourself. Sabbath with attitude.
Well, someone else coined that, but we stole it.
Yeah,
A friend of ours wrote a little bio for us, and that was his take on it. And so, yeah, we roll with that. Kind of fits, and yeah, we like it.
It works.
And you know, my first impression was when I was listening to you guys, I had that in my head, Sabbath with attitude, but it was, what would it sound like? This is what Sabbath would sound like if Fred Turner from Blackman Turner Overdrive jumped over and was singing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll take that.
So joining us, we have got Doug on the bass. We've got Chris on guitars, Cal on guitars, and Trav on drums. So give us the story of Emergency Rule, guys.
So it's originally, we've all come from different areas playing in other bands. I used to play with Chris in a band called Mammoth. Chris used to play with Callum in another band, 63 Stone. Trav used to play with Callum in some other projects as well. Yeah. And then one day, I think it was you three started rehearsing together, and then they needed a bass player and a singer. And at the time, I was playing bass in Mammoth with Chris. And I said, why don't I come over and give it a crack? And
I invited you.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I got invited over to give it a crack, and it's just did an audition, and it's worked out really well since. Yeah, that's right. So,
well, it had to work because there's not too many bass players who can sing. So, you know, you haven't got much choice, in general, let alone in Adelaide. So, Dougie sort of ticked the two boxes that we needed to tick.
It's easier to get one person in and have two different people join a band. So.
Yeah.
And the original spec was, we want to sound like Thin Lizzy. So
needed a
singing bass player was almost a prerequisite.
Yeah.
minus the fro.
Yeah,
That's right.
You guys are playing a gig on the 8th of February with some friends of Rock Talk, Audio Rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we've obviously from the same city, but over the years haven't crossed paths much with them. But recently, this is our third gig. Oh, yeah, second gig. Yeah, we've kind of crossed paths a bit in the last sort of 6 to 8 months. So it's kind of cool. They're good guys, and they're a great band as well. Yeah. And I think their album came out last year too. Their new album.
Not long ago.
Yeah.
They're both sort of playing all new tunes.
Hitting new ground.
Mm-hmm. They ranked on my top 10 list as well. And I have on my top 10 list, I think it was 6 out of 10 bands were Australian.
We noticed there was a lot of Aussie talent in there. It was good, yeah.
Well, I thank Byron Moore for that. I mean, his beautiful car crash page introduced me to a lot of bands, and I started listening and haven't been able to stop.
Yeah, cool. Nice. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Keep listening.
Keep listening. That's right.
I mean, I'm drawing a lot of parallels between Australia and Canada. I mean, a lot of cities that are spaced out a big distance between them, and you're getting these kind of microcosms of music in these cities, because it costs a lot of money to go from city to city to do shows. So these cities are becoming little microcosms into themselves. Is Australia the same way?
Yeah, very much. Little scenes in different cities, and getting over there is not so. Touring's expensive, as you say, so you do get around, but you got to plan it well. It's not like you can just drive 2 hours, do another show, drive 2 hours, do another show. It's
it's a 10-hour
flight. Yeah, 10-hour drive or flights all over the country. So, but yeah, you get these little cool little Melbourne scene. Sydney's got a cool thing going. Certain venues that work really well in those areas and support the good music. So, it's very similar around here.
So, what's your creative process like in your band?
We're very much a riff. It used to be whiskey. That's the same. These days we're not drinking fine wine and quality scotch. We're very much a riff band, as you probably have.
Could you tell at all?
Oh yeah.
So everything for us comes down. It all starts with the riff. Chris is the main riff doctor back here, so he'll come in to rehearsal. We're like old school. No one sits at home and writes it and shows it to everyone else. We come to a rehearsal with a riff, and the four of us. This is the room where we rehearse in here. Everything's set up. Sort of jam away on those riffs. Families of riffs, turn them into tunes, refine them. Work out where the vocals are going to fit, and then if it makes the cut, we start playing it live.
Sometimes
if it doesn't, it gets parked for 3 years, and then we finally come back to it and go, "That was a good riff. We should have done something with that." And then we revisit and do that. They're in the middle of right now. We're finishing off the writing for album 2. So there's been
we booked the studio, man. It's happening.
So there's been a lot of that of like, okay, what have we written over the last 10 years that got forgotten about that was good enough that we really should bring it back and turn it into a full song.
So it's only 20 songs. We've got to synthesize down to a 45-minute album.
Yeah, and hopefully, make not all the songs 8 minutes long as well. That's the other challenge.
That's the biggest challenge, is going from 13 minutes to sort of around about 5-6.
Let's cut it down to a listenable length.
We're getting better.
Yeah.
We could do Sleep and just put out a one-song album.
We don't smoke weed and we still jam on 30. Let's do this 60 times. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
We surprised ourselves the other night. We sort of nutted out a new song, and it came under 4 minutes.
It's 3 minutes 57.
Yeah.
Like, we did it, boys.
We're radio song for radio.
Radio friendly.
But then we chuck in 3 more solos.
Yeah.
To do a key change.
The drummer said, "Do a key change." Oh my god!
Not every song can be got in a Gata Davida, right?
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So we sort of stuck with that process over. That's how we've written songs for the last 10 years, and it works really well for us, and it's just easy.
And then everyone's got their say, everyone's got their input, and it ends up being a better song. I find I've been in other projects where one person writes a song and then shows it, but if you're too restrictive like that, you don't have time to develop. Let's do a thing here and change that, add that in, repeat that.
Something to Say came about?
What was that?
The song, Something to Say.
Something to Say.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something to say.
Everyone's got something to say.
So who writes the lyrics primarily then?
That's me. So pretty much all the lyrics are mine. So yeah, we do collaborate on the vocal melodies and stuff. So some guys who have ideas sometimes of what I should do here and there. But yeah, it tends to be my lyrical content.
So every band has a name, it seems, for their fans. What's the name of Emergency Rules fans?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Rulers. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Not sure.
We should coin this thing. We should work something out.
Yeah, we should.
When we get enough fans to have a fan club.
$19.99 a month. is we're going to follow the Spotify model. If we can't make money in music, we'll make it via subscriptions.
It's like with my radio listeners, I call them all the rockaholics.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's something that works, you know.
Yeah. I will work something.
Yeah.
But do you guys have a band you'd love to share the stage with?
We've already done that. We played with Corrosion Conformity twice.
Yeah, that was probably one of our big ones that people would want to share it with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to play with big one. If we ever got to play with Baroness or Clutch, that'd be two of my big ones.
Yeah.
That would be. I think we'd sit in well with them, and it would be a really cool show. I'd love to do that. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, they resonate for sure.
Yeah.
And down.
Yeah.
Down.
In New Zealand.
All bands, so Down, Clutch, and Corrosion, I think are all have new records coming out. So there's potential for them to come out to Australia. So who knows? We'll see.
Maybe.
See who we know. You know, it's like it's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah. We're pretty good at just throwing our hat in the ring and trying to get what we can.
We've had a couple of good supports with bands that weren't really similar to us, but have been great bands and sort of surprise packages. Like we played with Hardcore Superstar. Not similar scene, but they were great live. Like, you know,
really good.
Yeah.
And
So
good fun. Great guys,
yeah.
like to hang out with. So,
So we've had some cool supports along the way. It's been good. But yeah, definitely Corrosion was the big one for us. Yeah.
But we touched on touring there a little while ago. Here for Canadian bands, it's a little easier. We can jump down south of the border, tour the States, maybe head over to Europe. Where do you guys go? Japan, New Zealand?
Yeah. Japan.
We just did Japan in November. 5 shows. Five shows. That sort of came around at a good time because our album came out over there about May, or maybe a bit earlier.
It's a bit later than it came out everywhere else.
And then I was just sort of hunting around and I came across a guy who was taking bands over to Japan. And I said, our album's out over there, and it all sort of clicked. And it's pretty easy to get over there from here. And the shows were good. But we had fun. It was good.
Yeah, good show.
Played with a lot of cool local bands as well. Some really good local bands. Actually, were blown away.
Yeah. Well, there was a mix. It was really good.
Well, there was really good. And there was average. But the really good was
ones were
extremely good.
Top tier. And they were just like the local bands that everyone local did the same thing. Didn't, and a little microcosm of a scene over there, it seems. Like they were the Tokyo bands did that. Yeah. They didn't really go down to the other cities. It was like their local scene. So
right.
But it was really cool to catch up or meet those people and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to get over to Japan and Asia than get to the States or Europe from here. But not to mention the visa issues of getting to the States as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So who is all on your personal playlists now these days that you guys are drawing inspiration from?
I've been listening to the news. Well, actually, we're playing with Greenleaf coming up soon, so I've been listening to their new record, which is very cool.
Yeah.
And there was, hang on, I just had it on then.
I'm pretty old school. I just listen to Iron Maiden.
Well, yeah, we've got.
That's all right. That's all right.
We've got the old AC/DC, Iron Maiden, and old school Metallica and all that sort of stuff. Corrosion down. So I think we don't waver too much. I don't know, mind you, I've been listening to a lot of Genesis lately.
Well, I've been listening to Dave Matthews Band the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. We're going to go Prop, Genesis and Dave Matthews. The next album's going to be Props.
Skinner.
Yeah.
On my list.
Yeah, I just put a lot of Skinner on. Thin Lizzy.
Old Scorpions.
Yeah.
Really John Roth.
I can't even.
Oh, yeah. That album, Virgin Killers, is just an amazing, amazing album.
A lot of inspiration broadly from everything. World music and you name it.
Actually, I listened to a lot of Cancer Bats. They're from Canada.
Yeah.
We played with Cancer Bats. Yeah. That was cool.
That's awesome. Now,
they're a great band.
Speaking of Maiden, Maiden is one of our sponsors here on CGCM Rock Radio with their Trooper beer. And
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you know, the one thing that I've noticed about Maiden is Yannick is the klutz of the band. You know, he's either dropping his guitar or tripping on stage or falling off stage. Have you guys had a Yannick moment?
Yes.
What happened?
I trip over shit all the time. You guys just don't fit.
I just thought it was you sort of, in front of me just going for it.
I know the league came out.
Probably the worst of that is swinging my hair around and getting it caught in one of these two's headstocks, depending on who's standing on what side of it.
He is the real estate mogul of the stage. He's the real estate mogul. Just because he does two things in the band,
I can take up whole fucking twice as much room as anyone else. You're playing and singing.
Well, you're
I've
doing
had
the
a
job of two
back
people.
at stock, headstock miss me by that much. I've had it 50 times. This head here, this one, this fucking thing's a lethal weapon, dude. This thing here, this headstock here, that's a serious headstock.
Is that why that bumps into other stuff?
No, we haven't had any fireworks
no
pyro mishaps or anything. No
falling off the edge of the stage.
There was a Yannick one the other day where he completely fell over. I saw it, and Adrian had to pick him up.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes.
Yeah,
he came
that was a big one.
and then just went ass over tea kettle and
yeah.
When he's still in the middle of playing.
Okay, Adrian just looked around and looking, and Yannick's flat.
That's the advantage of having three guitarists. One of them can fall over.
Yeah.
Keep going. It's okay. They probably noticed with you guys.
Exactly.
We haven't broken string for 8 years between us.
Knock on wood.
I have.
You've broken more
bass strings than guitar strings in this band. So,
bass string endorsement.
Yeah, that's right.
So before we wrap this thing up, I like to do a little thing called This or That. It's just a series of rapid fire questions, top of the head answers, and if you're ready, we'll just dive into that.
Yeah, cool.
A little bit of fun. CD, vinyl, or MP3?
Vinyl.
MP3. Convenience, man.
Spicy food or sugary treats?
Spicy food.
Yeah. Yes.
Iced coffee or iced tea?
Iced coffee.
Coffee, man. Fuck
Pool, beach, or water park?
I'm beach.
Pool.
I'm beach.
Yeah. Pool, probably.
There you go.
We got too many great white sharks here.
Yeah. Or river. That's option too. I like that.
Yeah, river in
Water
there.
skiing on.
Video games or board games?
Board games. I like board games.
Both. Depends on the mood.
You're so weird.
I'm not allowed to sit on the fence. So my board game's fine.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yeah.
No.
I don't
It's
eat.
not just no.
I don't eat pizza, so my answer doesn't matter.
And finally, somewhere down the road, they're making an emergency rule movie. Who's getting cast as you guys?
I'd be The Rock, I reckon.
Clearly.
You're going to be a young Liam Neeson will play you.
I reckon George Clooney.
I was
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
I'd take Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
One of those British actors you'd be.
Yeah.
Like those guys in the spy films or something. Eddie Redmayne or someone like that.
Yeah. Sean Connery. I'd be a young Sean Connery.
Yeah, take that.
James Dean.
Doug Bond.
Wow.
There you go. Start reading your agent.
Right up.
Just need a script.
Very cool, guys. And what's the website? What's the socials?
Emergencyrule.com or emergencyrule.com.au. Probably easier to remember the .com. So that's our website, which then will have links to everything else. Otherwise, just on Facebook, Emergency Rule, Instagram, Emergency Rule.
That's it. Twitter.
Twitter, if anyone's on, X,
yeah,
not
sorry.
Twitter. Come on,
X.
rebranding. Yeah, any of those things, just look it up. Emergency Rule, or stick in Adelaide if you need to in Google, and then it will find it as well. Or South
Otherwise,
Australia.
it points to some issue in Malaysia. And
But yeah, if anyone, all our gigs and that are up on the website. There's a link to merch and all the rest of it. Also Bandcamp, there's merch and music there. You can listen to us on Spotify as well, but obviously we get about 0.00003 cents a listen or whatever, but still good. Go and have a listen. It's a good way to hear it. But then buy the vinyl and get it shipped out to you.
Killer.
And then you can have that as well. So that's better.
I saw that purple vinyl to boot.
Oh, the yellow one sounds the best.
There's purple, yellow, or black. So yeah, 3 options, or you can buy all 3 if you really want to hear the sonic difference.
One more question here. I noticed I love the cover of the album. Was there a definite Skeletor reference thrown in there? Because to me it looked like Skeletor with a bull mask on.
I've had a couple of people say that. Yeah, that wasn't the original. Because it's the King of Ithaca and there's the song Ulysses. So we took those ideas to the guy doing the artwork for us, and Slocky at the Heavy Metal Factory, or he's changed the name. He's in Sydney, and he was like reading all the mythology about Ulysses and all the stuff like that. And there's the thing about the bull and the skull and the death and so that's kind of where all that came from, and the ships and that. So, but yeah, I've had a couple of people say to me, "Oh, that's fucking Skeletor," which is going to be because they're making a He-Man live action film. I think is coming out soon. So maybe we'll maybe we'll get the soundtrack for that.
Is it Rock?
Probably. He'd probably suit, I reckon. Actually, I think he is. But yeah. No, it's we were really happy with the way the art came out anyway from Lockie's good. I reckon we'll work with him again. So
and hopefully we'll not be infringing any trademarks with He-Man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, better check that. I hope he didn't just rip it straight.
Well, very cool. It has been such an awesome honor to meet up with you guys in Emergency Rule. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk, guys.
Thank you very much,
man. Cheers. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you guys, and we will catch you again next time on another edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio.